What's up, everybody? Got the old 4-string today. I want to talk to you about something that that I picked up on bass that I was actually able to carry over to guitar. But this is a great bass tip nonetheless, but a good tip for electric guitar players as well, acoustic even too. Several years ago I had somebody tell me, kind of tongue-in-cheek, and you need to get a hobby, you play guitar way too much, and so I did pick up a hobby, and that was bass, so haha. A little bit later I started teaching a little bit of bass, just on the side, just to get a little bit of extra dough while I was teaching guitar. And one of the things I came across, the first student that I ever had on bass, he was kind of into jazz, and he was really getting into Jaco Pastorius, and he wanted to learn Portrait of Tracy. And I'm like, oh great, I'm supposed to be teaching beginner bass, and this kid wants to learn Jaco Pastorius. So, of course, the businessman in me, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, we can do that. But in my head I'm going, I can't do that. So I sat down and started to learn Portrait of Tracy, knowing that we probably weren't going to be able to go through the whole song, but we could at least, pick out some really cool things. It's a great little tune. If you ever get a chance to hear it, look it up. It's played almost exclusively in harmonics. When you listen to it, it almost sounds like an electric piano. It's really cool. So I did a lesson months ago that you can find in the archives on the Lesson of the Week page at andrewsmusiccorner.com, and we talked about harmonics on the guitar. So with bass it's the same thing. You want to locate, first step is to locate all the harmonics. And what you can do, and I'm sorry by the way if the audio is kind of crappy, but that's just the way it is. One thing you can do is just kind of lightly touch the string and maybe just move the entire length of the string. And try to find out where all those little ringers are. And then the next step is to make sure you know what notes they are. Once you've located these basic harmonics, make sure you know what notes those are. And we covered that in that lesson. So I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time with that. But an easy way to find them out is to plug into a tuner. That's kind of a little shortcut. Plug into a tuner and play the harmonics and see what notes they are. But they're essentially going to be root notes, fifths, and there's even a third right there. So anyhow, I'll show you the intro of Portrait of Tracy. It's a great little harmonic exercise. Basically it just goes like this. And then it carries on. Kind of a tough harmonic there to hit. We'll talk about that one in a minute. But this little exercise, it's a simple little pattern of hitting the 5th fret harmonic, hitting a 3rd fret harmonic, which is just on this side of the 3rd fret, hitting a 4th fret harmonic on the string below, and then the string below that, hitting a 3rd fret harmonic. Do the same pattern, you just move down a string, move down a string again, and continue the pattern until you just run out of frets, which is going to end up right there on the 4th fret on the E string. So, real slow. And then it's a 7th and a 12th just to kind of finish it out. But the idea is you want to go real slow when you're doing those harmonics. You want to make sure each one of those is ringing out crystal clear. These are really, really old strings, so some of these aren't really chimey. Make sure that those babies are ringing out. Okay, so I'll have that written out in tab, and that's a really great exercise to work on. If you want a real challenge, try that on a guitar. The biggest thing that I really picked up from this exercise that I was able to carry over to guitar that I like to use a lot, especially on acoustic, is the use of kind of this hybrid approach of playing a note mixed with harmonics to make kind of this harmonic chord. And this came from the idea of kind of the next section of Portrait of Tracy, which would kind of mix, start with like a C note and then mix a 5th fret harmonic on the D string and a 4th fret harmonic on the G string. You can do that same thing if you move to a G. So I'm trying to fret these harmonics. I'm just barely touching these strings, but actually fretting this note and trying to play them all at the same time and try to get them all to ring out cleanly. It can be kind of tough. A good tip is to pluck back here near the bridge, because strings are a little more taut, so you're going to get a sharper attack, and you're going to get just kind of a brighter sound out of the harmonics, which is what you want most of the time anyway. And if you kind of picture it as like a diagonal line going this way across the 5th, 4th, and 3rd fret, you can make some interesting chords by mixing in some of those strings and those harmonics. So for this little chord, a C, you've got that little note there, which is going to be an octave, actually 2 octaves of the open string. So you're getting kind of this a second. It's a C and then with a D, a high D. So and then right there you're getting a B. It's a B harmonic there. So you're getting a C, a B, and a D. And so what does that make? If your C is your root and you have a D, well, that's a 2. And then you have a B, which is your major 7. So you're getting a C, kind of a C major 9 kind of sound. So a really nice little tune. And you can even reverse this. And instead of having the 4th fret on the G string, have it on the D string, and then the 5th fret on the G string. So now you're getting a C with kind of this flat 5, because there's that harmonic right there is going to be your flat 5 relative to the C. Do the same thing with the G. And over these notes, you can create melodies. There it is. One of the other things you can do is create harmonics, create new harmonics by fretting a note, and you can use kind of the fleshy part of your thumb and just try to find, like if I fret a B, there's a harmonic there, and I'm trying to find all these harmonics around this section, because the same harmonics that exist on the neck are going to exist on this section of the string as well. One of the things that happens in Portrait of Tracy is he hits this harmonic here where he's fretting a B, and he's reaching over here to the 6th fret with his pinky to hit this harmonic, and mine's kind of dead. That's a hard harmonic to hit. That's the harmonic he actually gets. And of course he's playing kind of on a homemade fretless bass. So playing with fretless bass and hitting harmonics is a different thing too. But if you can't hit that note in that song, one of the things that you can do is actually find that same harmonic over here somewhere. There it is. Sorry if you can't hear it. I can't hear it very well either, but it's a tough one to get. So that's kind of an alternative to this stretchy thing. It took me forever to figure that one out. I could not figure out for the life of me what that was. It took me years. It took me 2 years to actually finally discover that that's what the harmonic was. I can't remember the epiphany that I had when I did that, when that happened. But yeah, it took forever. So stretchy. Anyhow, you can take all these examples, because there are millions of things you can do with harmonics and chords, and doing kind of these this hybrid approach of making chords with harmonics. You can try that with a guitar. Like I said, I like to do that with acoustic a lot. You can do it with electric as well. So bass players, see what you can do about incorporating harmonics into your playing. Guitar players, if you have access to a bass, it's a great way to learn harmonics and where they are, and then you can apply that to guitar. Of course, on guitar you got 2 extra strings to worry about as well. So Hopefully that helps. I'll have the tab up for the little Portrait Tracy intro that'll serve as a great little harmonic exercise for you. See you next time.